All right, let's do it fun.
No.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Gia.
And this is Real Talk, Spooky Edition. My movie is Cat People from 1942. It's a suspense movie that's built almost entirely out of atmosphere alone. Simone Simon plays Irina, a Serbian immigrant living in New York City, who believes that she may be the victim of an ancient curse. She fears that she will be transformed into a giant cat if she consummates her relationship with her love, Oliver, played by Kent Smith. Early in the film, she relates a story about King John of Serbia, who drove a tribe of satanic cat people into the mountains, and she fears that she might be descended from these heretics. It's a strange plot, but in this context, it works. Cat People is definitely a product of its time. It's slow, and the dialogue can be so theatric and clever that I can just picture the screenwriter sitting back, very satisfied with his work. So this is going to sound great on screen.
Oh, Landy, dearie me, I can't imagine what got into them. All that caterwauling. The last time they did that was when an alley cat got in and ate up one of my nice rice finches.
Oh, all I wanted to exchange this kitten for a bird.
Well, of course. I have some lovely canaries. One little lemon-colored fellow with top notes like Caruso.
Simone Simon makes no attempt to hide her French accent, which I'm sure was fine in 1942 because, foreign is foreign. So as a modern audience, we kind of have to accept that and move on. I did find myself gripped by this film. It doesn't tread the ground of the Universal monster pictures. There's no Wolfman-like transformation sequence. There's no Bela Lugosi grandstanding at the top of a staircase looming down. It's not like that. Instead, the suspense comes from the claustrophobia that you feel. The sets are almost not like the places, but ideas of the places, like they were painted in broad strokes. And you get the feeling as a viewer that there's something just out of frame that's kind of stalking you and the characters at the same time. It's hard to explain without seeing it, but it's very effective. This 2-set DVD collection is a Criterion release, so it has all the stuff that will keep a movie buff entertained for hours. It has full audio commentary, an interview with the director from 1979, an audio interview with the main actress, and there's even a brand new, for this release, interview with the cinematographer talking about the light and shadow of this film. So if you like that kind of stuff, this is a great choice. So come in and check out Cat People if you dare.
All right, and I will be talking about 2007's Paranormal Activity. It was directed by Oren Peli and stars Katie Featherston and Mika Sloat as fictionalized versions of themselves. It's a found footage horror film, which is a format that was pioneered by 1999's The Blair Witch Project and brought back into the horror mainstream with this film. It follows Mika and Katie as they investigate strange things that have started happening in their home. Katie has been surrounded by supernatural phenomena for her whole life, including when she was younger, she would see a man standing at the edge of her bed and a mysterious house fire that burned down her childhood home. And it's starting to plague her again. So Mika decides to buy a camera and see if they can capture it on tape. At first, Katie is reluctant but amenable and allows him to film all throughout the day and on a tripod while they're asleep. But as the haunting gets worse and things start getting creepy and a Ouija board sets on fire, she begs him to get rid of the camera and just leave things alone and leave the house. Paranormal Activity has a lot of elements of classic horror films and literally centers on a thing that goes bump in the night. But it also has really good characters and explores the relationship between Mika and Katie and how the fear and the stress affects them both individually and as a couple. And it's not constant jump scares. There's a lot of slow build and psychological horror, but when there is a jump scare, it's really, really, really good. What's interesting on the production side is that there wasn't an actual script. It was just a loose outline of plot points they wanted to hit in each scene, so the dialogue would seem more conversational and real since it's found footage. It was filmed in director Oren Peli's home, which he spent a year preparing for, because all of the stunts and scares in the film, save the last scene, which I won't spoil, are practical, meaning there were no special effects, no CGI, they did it all for real. Overall, it's a little cliche, a little predictable, but a ton of fun, really scary, and it holds up once you've seen it 100 times like I have, and you know what's coming. It's still a great film, even if it doesn't physically scare you as much. And unfortunately, it spawned about 1,000 spin-offs, the second of which was good, and it has just gotten increasingly worse. So don't watch those, but watch this one. It's very good. And you can get Paranormal Activity
and Cat People
here at Monroe Free Library if you dare. Bye.
Bye.